I woke up in a dense alien forest of sky overhead swirling with colors I had never seen before. My head spun from the sudden change of environment, and the sweet tang of alien flora filled my senses before I even noticed her. She emerged from the shadows, a towering figure, her fur glinting in strained, iridescent light, and her eyes a glowing emerald green. My instincts screamed caution, yet something deep inside me felt drawn to her. She crouched slightly, sniffing the air, her massive nostrils flaring, and then she turned her gaze to me. My blood, it seems, had betrayed my presence, or perhaps it had called to her. Her movements were fluid, yet deliberate. As she approached, each step resonating with a power I could almost feel in my bones. I froze, my heart hammering against my ribs as she sniffed my wrist, my neck, and even the small pulse in my temple. "You carry it," she murmured, her guttural voice carrying authority and curiosity at once. I did not understand, yet the words filled me with an odd sense of recognition. She circled me slowly like a predator assessing her prey, but the eyes that stared into mine conveyed more than instinct. They carried knowledge, as if she saw not just me, but the echoes of generations hidden within me. Her tail flicked softly behind her, brushing against the mossy ground, while her claws dug lightly into the earth. She crouched closer, bringing her massive face near mine, and inhaled deeply. My mind raced with terror, fascination, and awe as the warmth of her breath mingled with the tang of my own blood. She sniffed my pulse, my sweat, my heartbeat, each gesture deliberate and ritualistic. "Ancestor, lost bloodline," she repeated, her voice low yet commanding, each syllable reverberating through my chest. I shivered under the weight of her gaze, as if every fiber of my being had been exposed. She claimed my blood held the essence of a figure long forgotten, one whose legacy had been mourned and revered by her people for centuries. Her massive hand touched my shoulder lightly, and I felt a surge of heat pulse through my veins. The forest around us seemed to fade, as if the world had narrowed down to her presence and the recognition of my blood. She had found her lost ancestor in me, and my human mind struggled to comprehend the magnitude of her discovery. She guided me to a shallow pool where the reflection of twin moons shimmered across the water, her massive head lowered to my height, and her eyes studied me like one studies a sacred relic. I could see traces of her species mirrored faintly in my human features, my jawline, my eyes, my pulse, all resonating with lineage I had never known. Days passed with her guiding me through rituals that I barely understood, yet instinctively obeyed. Each sniff of my blood, each touch and examination unlocked memories I did not know I carried. Her dominance and care were inseparable. She led and protected me while awakening the ancient essence of her people within my veins. I felt both awe and fear in equal measure. She would bring me across alien landscapes, teaching me the ways of her species, my human body adapting to their forests and mountains. Under her watchful guidance, her claws were gentle. When she corrected my stance, her tail brushing my back in silent lessons, she showed me how to connect to our shared heritage, to awaken instincts that had lain dormant for generations. Nights were spent by alien fires, her massive form curling protectively around me. The scent of her fur and the warmth of her body made my blood pulse with a strange familiarity I had never known, yet could not deny. She taught me how to hunt, how to move with grace, and how to channel the strength hidden within my human form. Each day brought new lessons, from the sniffing of my blood to rituals of recognition. I realized a lost ancestor, she spoke, was not just a title. It was a living presence now intertwined with my own existence. She accepted me as both kin and guide, and in return I learned to trust her completely, my instincts reshaped by her ancient knowledge. When the twin moons rose high above the forest canopy, I understood that my life was no longer solely my own. The alien Beastwoman had found her lost ancestor in me, and I had accepted the mantle instinctively. Her rituals and touch had awakened something primal and sacred in me, and the bond we shared could never be broken. Over time, my human fears were replaced with reverence and understanding. I followed her guidance, navigating alien cities, forests, and mountains, my blood and instincts forever intertwined with hers. She showed me the history of her people, their triumphs and tragedies, their rituals and rites, and I learned to honor each one as if it were my own heritage. Finally, one night, as we rested by the shimmer of a crystalline river, she pressed her massive head against my chest. The vibrations of her purrs resonated through me, and I felt the lineage of her people flowing through my veins. I was no longer just human. I was part of a legacy, rediscovered, a bridge between worlds that had been lost for centuries. From that moment on, my existence was inseparable from hers. She had claimed me not as a prisoner, but as a living continuation of the ancestor whose blood now ran in me. The forests, the skies, and the alien moons became home, and every heartbeat I felt was a testament to her discovery and to the bond we shared. The scent of my blood had called her, and her recognition had changed everything. I was no longer alone, lost or uncertain. I had become the living embodiment of a lost lineage, and the alien Beastwoman was my guide, protector, and companion. Through her, I had discovered both a history I had never known and a future I could now embrace without fear. Her presence remained constant each day, teaching, testing, and nurturing my instincts. The sniffing of my blood and the first step, and every ritual afterward reinforced the truth she had discovered. Every breath I took, every movement I made carried the imprint of her people and the acknowledgement of the ancestor I had become. In time, I understood that my blood and soul were entwined with hers. I was both human and the embodiment of her lineage. The alien Beastwoman had claimed me through recognition, through ritual, and through instinct, and I had embraced that claim fully. Her eyes glowed with pride and understanding, and I felt a sense of belonging that transcended species and time. By the light of the twin moons, I knelt before her, finally understanding my purpose. I was a lost ancestor, rediscovered the bridge between worlds, and the bearer of her people's legacy. All my fears, my doubts, and my human limitations faded as I accepted the reality of my new life, my new identity, and the bond that would last for all time.